Hello.
Hello, John. It's Andrew. How are you today?
Uh, Good.
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 I'm calling. You were going to share some thoughts and some stories with us. Go ahead. Start whenever you're ready.
Okay. I want to say hello to everybody in the Delta. This is John Norbert from Chickachik. I will say a few words to everybody today regarding our language and what we used to. I'll give you a little story of what we used to do this time of the year long ago. Uh, and long ago, I'll say hello to everybody, and I'll, I'll say long ago this time of the year was, was really good for everybody because everybody stayed where they wanted. Some stay at their own camps, like Tree River, Travier, Pierce Creek, and all them places. Their main camps. So from there they go hunting and they're there for the spring. It's good for everything. That's why they have their main camp because they could fish right out of the ice and it's good for beaver and it's good for rats and good for everything. That's why they pass spring there. And my dad used to pass spring around at the portage going to McPherson. There's Old Modest Lake and some fish lakes and some beaver. Most of them are beaver lakes. That's why he always passed spring around there. And then from there we go all over, walk all over the place. And sometimes we use dogs, and when it's too much water, we walk. But first of all, he always, talk to me about, hunting safely. You have to know the bad places and where the water is strong and all that stuff. And the ice is weak at certain places because the water is strong underneath, and if the ice is black, it means it's not safe to walk on. And all that stuff, and and especially with a gun, if you carry, your parents said you carry a gun like that, you don't point it to a person or stuff like that, and you don't leave, most of all, you don't carry a loaded gun. And furthermore, they teach you about today I could go, I'm 82 years old now, and I could still remember where he brought me all over the portage, to McPherson and all the lakes around that area, and right up to around Swan Lake, and from there to the river and all that stuff. I used to have a little trap line by myself. First time he used to come with me. First he used to come with me, and then after he let me go alone. I think I was about, 12, 13 years old, somewhere around that area. And he go with me the first trip, and after that I go by myself. And and I had 5 dogs, and we were young, but anyway, they were tough dogs. They go through water and all the dogs in the old days used to be good dogs because they were working dogs. They put all their belongings, tent, stove, everything, and they go through water and they still go. They don't get stuck. And they bring you to where you want to go, and dogs are good to have, they know their master, they know the trails, even if big wind, they can still hit the Portage Trail, And usually we used to have 2 leaders. We used to one for half a day and the other one for the rest of the day, because it's hard on leaders when they have to break trail all day and find the right portage and keep you on the right portage, all that stuff. Because once lots of snow is hard pulling and slow going, but if you're going, you're still going. It's a good life. I call it a really good life because those days we don't eat. Very seldom we used to eat candies and all the funny grub that they have today. It's we're always in good shape. We can run ahead of dogs and with snowshoes and stuff like that, and we're in good shape all the time. And we can make camp anytime we feel like, and do things like our elders taught us, And I'll tell you one thing, that what the elders say is true, because when they talk to you, they'll say, I'll tell you this right now. And sometime in your life, you're going to come upon this thing, and what I'm telling you, and you're going to think about me telling you that, and that's true. It's very true because that came before me a million times already, Not to do this and not to do that. And they got a reason for everything. And, these elders at that time, they governed themselves in a big way. They did it in a big way so that today we live like them. And that's why they taught us all these things. They know all the country. They know where all the bad spots are and which way to go and all that stuff, And it's really lots of help to know all that. And our elders are great people. We should have them in our mind and pray for them all the time. That's what I do anyway. I thank them for what they told me. Myself, I help a lot of people, lots of elders. I don't want to name them because I'll be here for 1 hour to remember the names, but they were all very good elders, and I helped them with water, wintertime ice and wood. And I make sure that they have all that before I go to bed. My parents really were after me for that, I sometimes think, why don't they pick on somebody else? But today I'm glad that they did that, They had a reason for that. And that's my language. That's how come today I'm speaking in my language and translating and everything. It's about about a year ago or more we started teaching language and they were talking about teaching the little ones first, and I thought that was sort of impossible until until I tried it. I tried it with the little ones. You can't even hardly talk English from them, but they can say a word better than some words they say is better than I do, and they catch on fast and they learn fast. I tell you, and that's a good way to teach them. I was very glad when I didn't believe in it, but now I do. And every time they meet me on the road, they say, "Did he drown?" And holy smokes, I tell you, that makes me feel proud. Did he drown? I met one of them yesterday. He was in a crowd, and he pulled out of the crowd. He come and grab a hold of me and hug me and everything. Oh boy, I felt good. That made my day. So they're very smart, these little ones, and I think if we put all we got into language, they'll learn. They're going to learn, and they're going to speak before we know it. But all this virus and everything, we have to take care of ourselves now, and we've got to listen to what the government say, the House and say, and all that. We have to do that, even if we don't want to keep ourselves safe. Keep away from getting too much of a crowd, and even you could use face masks if you want to, and really take care of yourself, and that in doing so, you'll be helping everybody too. You have to do as you're told until we're over this sickness. It's very dangerous. You have to do what we're told, and I'm getting tired of staying home, but that's what I'm supposed to do. So we help each other by listening and do as we were told, and we'll be okay. The other thing is, long ago, when it was springtime like this, nobody was in town, Everybody was out in their happy hunting grounds, and some people stay out in the bush, and in the summertime they got a camp, big bush camp out there. Some of them grow turnips, potatoes, carrots, and all that stuff out in where they're staying. So, they stay there in the summertime, and it's good fishing, wherever they stay too. So they fish in the summertime too there. So they didn't come to town for the big days, like in the summertime would be 15th of August, and then they spend about a week, 10 days in town, and really enjoy life dancing, drum dance. Sometimes they gamble and fiddle dance. They do that for about 1 week, and they have a good time, and then everybody goes back. Everybody from the Delta used to come in person. Sometimes the Clavic and the Delta and all them places, they come to gather, gather and have a good time. And while they're doing that, they plan for the fall. They let each other know where they're gonna go do their trapping. At those days, even I say they had a bush camp. Sometimes they stay other places. They go to a fish lake or where it's good for moose and good for caribou and all that. They stay around there for the winter, so that they don't clean their bush camp out. They don't fish it out, and they don't hunt everything around there. They go to certain different areas and all that, And some people like to stay alone and stay with Sometimes they 2-3 tents on one place and sometimes more. There's people all over the place. And sometimes I think about it today, it's really different, the world we live in today. I sure miss that bush living, The last time I was trapping was quite a few years ago, and I trapped with Cecil Landry, and we covered a big area. We from Two River to Travier and just about to the Red River, We had skidoo, so we go a long way in one day. Lots of fish lakes in there and nice marten country. And nobody were there for the last 20 years. And that's not very good, But like I told you, I'm 82 years old now. Sometimes I wish to go out, but I can't. And I'm on medication, the worst of it. And it's really tough when you think about all the country you've got and there's nobody in it. And there's a lot of fish lakes in there around Thunder River right down to the Newicks. There's all fish lakes in that area. So, that's what the elders used to do long ago. This time of the year was the best time for them because they could sleep out and camp out and, they hunt all over the place. And it's nice when you get up and you hear birds singing, and that's what I miss. I don't hear that hardly anymore, is the birds singing. The birds used to, it was like music. All kinds of different songbirds. And you get up in the morning, you open your eyes, you don't even feel like going back to sleep because it sounds so nice and you hear those birds. It's not only birds, it's all kinds of, different animals out there making noise, different ones. So, this time the year was a very good year for everybody because it's warm and like I said, I was a kid, but I cried to go with my dad, so you have to take me along with it. But I try to keep up with him and everything he do and whatever he teach me, I have to do it and do it good in the right way. If you handle a knife, handle it safely. And if you carry a gun, don't shoot any shells in there. It's when you see something, put shells and all that safety stuff will tell you, If you don't do it, they'll tuck your gun away from you and for the spring or something, So you got to really watch to hunt safely and stuff like that. And the main thing is you shoot an animal where to shoot them so that they don't get wounded and suffer after that. And all that stuff we tell you. Kill something, we'll prepare it right away. Don't let it spoil. And cook it and all that stuff. So today I'm glad that I went out with my dad. Not only my dad, different people, all different people. So if you go hunting, you're part of the crew. So you got to do everything. You got to make fire. You got to skin meat, cut up meat, and pork ducks, and all the shrimp ducks, and get it ready to eat, and all that stuff. You have to learn all that. So if you're in a hunting group, you got to do your part. You can't let just certain people do all the work. So that's one of the important things. And my dad and my mom always used to tell me, he says, everything we tell you, things will come before you one of these days, he said. And at that time, you're going to remember us telling you not to do it and how to do it and how to do it right. and he remembers. That's true. It's very true. Not only my mom and dad, the elders too tell you a lot of things. And the elders are good people to help. And they tell you stories, and they tell you the right way to do things, and that. And when we were young, when I was growing up, the rule of the house is to speak your own language. When you're in a house, when you're talking to your mom, your dad, and your brothers and sisters and all that, you speak your own language. That's the rule of the house. And then when you're out, you help the elders and make sure that they're okay. My mom and dad used to be after me all the time to make sure that the elders got wood, ice, and if they need something from the store or stuff like that, I'd go and check out on them, and help them out. We always used to have a few dogs. We have 3 dogs, and I used to hook up their dogs, and they're good dogs, those working dogs. Put a big load of wood on them, and they really work hard because to hitch them up, I usually have a little hard time with them because I wasn't not quite at the right age, and sometimes I have to walk ahead of them to start off. I remember that, Old Vegas used to have 3 or 4 all the time, and these dogs used to give me a rough time over it. They're tied up so long, they're glad to go in harness. And that's how I helped my elders those days. And it's a good thing to remember today, and I still speak my language, and the more I speak it, the better I'm getting at it, and that's by the elders and my parents. When I visit the elders, I have to speak my language, so I speak my language for them. I remember one elder, he used to drum for me all the time. He drummed for me, and I started dancing for him. So he liked that, that I danced for him. That was John Gitsay. Any one of you ever heard of John Gitsay? He's a drummer, and he stayed around here, and he got married in Good Hope, and then he stayed around Clover Lake and trapped and fished and everything around there. So that's where he spent his last days before he left us. And he's one of the guys that taught me a lot too, because they used to go down to Good Hope, right down the Big Rock to fish. Those days, Good Hope wasn't very much fish. I think there was some herrings, and that's about all. So they go right down to Big Rock to fish. So they make about, maybe 20 bales of dry fish when you go down to Big Rock. And right here was some Good Hope guys used to stay in town here, and some used to stay in Cheechit. Cheechit is a fish place. My dad used to pass the summer there all the time. It's just not far from town, and a good professional there. Not only him, but there's a lot of other people who are there to fish too. Like the Good Hope people used to come down and fish there, and any place there's Eddie on a Mackenzie was good place to fish. That Cheechit, I got a story about Cheechit. If you go on internet and look for John Norbert, and you'll find that story about Cheetah, where I grew up, and that was my recording my first story. So make sure you listen to it and tell me how it is. I'm an elder now, and I'm doing my best to tell some old time stories and try to translate more and do more in my language, so that we got at least somebody in our town that will translate and all that stuff. So others will follow too, because there's a few other people. George Ditchy, he's very good at it, and but him, he's got his own life to run. So we try our best to let him run his own life and not bother him too much. But at times we have to go to him when we get a little bit stuck with words and stuff like that. But with words, if we have if we have everything that we need, we'll find the meaning of the right words and everything. So I hope that everybody try their best to learn, even to learn their own language. It's not hard. No, it's not hard. I heard this. Language it's a hard language, and I believe it, because in the dictionary, it's, a lot of those words are very hard to pronounce. But there's ways, to get around it, and it'll still mean the same thing. So if people try hard, those elders that we got left now, we get together and teach our young people. I think we'll make it. But the very young ones in daycare, I know they're going to make it. Because they're very fast to catch on, and at times they say the word better than I do. What I'm talking about is our language, mostly. And these kids from the daycare, most of them don't even talk good yet, but when you tell them to say a word, they say it good, they pronounce it good too. And, for myself, I never did believe that the young kids would learn that way, but they are. I see it myself. That's why we need all the help in the community, all the mothers, the dads, and everybody. Even if you teach one or two words to them by yourself and ask them what it means, and it'll help. It'll help a lot. By helping each other, we'll get to where we want to be, and we'll work together better, than just one or two persons. This is a little town. It's a handful of people. If we work together, we'll be so powerful. It won't be. We'll build our town up, but we have to do that. We have to work together. And I see even those little kids. I see them. Sometimes there's a bunch of words or pictures of animals on the table, and they'll take one and go around with themselves, and one person asks, "What is this?" And they say it's nargaz, which means it's on the picture is fox. And by that I know that the little kids are very smart, and they don't forget easy either. They're very intelligent, and they catch on very quick, and they learn very fast. I got lots of hope for them, And then one thing I see them on the road, they say, "Oh, did he dawn? Did he dawn?" right there, you know that they got a respect for you. They got a respect for you. They wouldn't pass you without, sometimes if they're walking, they'll grab a hold of your leg or something, and they give you a hug or something like that, and holy smokes, it's really great, when those little guys do that. And that means that they got a respect for you, and I'm glad for them, and I think they'll all make it, whoever's in a daycare, and their mothers their parents have to help them too, have to help them. It's all learning all the way around. When I first started, I didn't have a hope, but today I got confidence that we'll make it. And that's why there's very few elders now. We've got to help each other. We've got to work together, because one of us go, the rest will keep on going. It's not like coming to a dead stop. There's somebody there who will take over and carry on, and that's the whole thing about language. We've got to help each other to make things work, and especially our language. The elders, I told you that they know everything. In the springtime, when the ice go and water come up, water go down, water flow fast, water stay still, all that they can read. They don't have to be 50 miles away from here to know what's going on up there. They'll read the water, and they'll know what's going on. Whether it's between here and here where it's blocked, or it's blocked down below at the East Branch, around places like that. They'll know all that by reading the movement of the water, and it's really amazing. The elders read all that stuff. And one thing I noticed that they used to read the weather too, but pretty good. I mean, they used to be right on, but after this, everything's going on in this world, things are changing. And that's kind of put them off on reading the weather. The elders are, it's no use to think, oh, heck, he's an old person. He doesn't know nothing. You can't think like that. They've been through everything, and they know. They know what's going on. And they can read the weather, they can read the water, by what the water is doing. They know where ice is moving, where it's blocked, and all that stuff. Us, we call ourselves elders right now, but I don't think we're not even half of what they are. but that's the way it is, It's first of all, we went to the residential school, which took our culture, our language, and everything, and somewhere or another, we go back to our parents and learn again. And maybe they should have kept the language in there, that would have been good, We don't have to start over like today yet. But like I said before, that, we got a big country here, and there's nobody in there. And I think lots about that, and I feel bad, I think, I still could go out there with somebody and just show them where the trap lines are and where the fish lakes are and stuff like that. But you take so much pills too, you gotta make sure you gotta take them at a certain time and stuff like that. And it just bugger up everything. And then in the first place, you have to be fit to be out there, Anyhow, I hope for the best for the daycare kids. Their moms should be learning a little bit too. so that when they get home, they can sort of talk together or something like that, you know. But it's got to be at home too, because that's the main part. Just because away from the daycare, the language got to keep on. I got lots of hope for them. And the other thing is the young people who are coming up now, don't be scared to go around and ask questions. You know, don't see an elder. You know, ask them, why is this? Why is that? And all that stuff. So they'll tell you. And it's not to be telling you something you don't forget. You know, I still remember what the elders and my dad, my mom, and everybody told me. You know, holy thing, when we were staying at home, we talk only our language to our mother and dad. We don't talk English. Second thing is, when there's elders around, well, we go help them, and in turn, we talk only our language to them. You know, we don't talk English to them. Talk our language. And I'll tell you, you're going to learn a lot. I know it now because I did it myself. You know, I even past spring was Dave Andrews' mother. I treated her quite a few times, you know, and took care of her, and you know, and never said not one word of English in all that time. And she told me a lot of stories. And I'm talking about reading the water. That's where I seen that. You know, one time me and Cecil were going to go to Smith's cabin. We put our boat in water and everything. She came along and told us that water is not acting right. You better stay here and see what happens later. Sure enough, that creek, the ice was shooting out, and the Kenji started to move again. And it was blocked at Smith's cabin. That's where we were going. But by reading the water, she knew what was going on there. It's they really understand a lot, you know, because when they were growing up, they went through it. So, you know, it's just like self-governing themselves. They know everything. They used to govern themselves anyway, to start with, until they made this stupid deal with the government. In the springtime like this, it's beautiful, sun shining, and in the old days, birds used to sing, and robins making noise, and all that stuff. You know, but today, it's beginning to not hear anything at all. So I guess all these animals, I don't know where they go, but it's kind of quiet. Anyhow, for those who are out in the bush, take care of yourself, watch for high water, and take care of your children, and take care of everybody. And all around McPherson, McClavick, and Newvik, and Siggetchik, people are hunting past point separation now, and we don't know what kind of spring we're going to have, so be on the lookout, you know, so that you don't get caught in too much water or stuff like that. I wish everybody a good luck in their hunting and their spring hunting and everything else, and you'll hear from me again. This is not the only time, but you'll hear me all the time. Thank you, everyone. And merci toi.
All right. Merci, John, for all your thoughts and for all of your stories. Right, Joe.